Okay, we're here. We're here. What's up, everybody? Happy Monday night. Thank you for coming back to Anime Toku tonight with myself, Sadiqua Love, and my friend.
Which
Yes, and we are here to talk about everything Attack on Titan tonight. Yes, you are getting Attack on Titan all night. We have a lot of episodes to catch up on. We have questions, we got conspiracies, some things that we've been looking up that we want to get into. So we're definitely going in on Attack on Titan tonight. But before we get into it, I want to make sure you guys are following us and subscribe to wherever you can watch Anime Toku. So if you're on Facebook right now, go ahead and like or give a heart to whatever video you're watching on and subscribe to that video. So if you're on on Dory's channel, if you're on my page, you can literally click on the video, subscribe, so that you can get a notification every time we're about to go live with Anime Toku. You can also follow us on Cosplay Philadelphia because it goes live there. If you're on Twitch, you can watch on my channel or on YouTube. And we're also this week being hosted again through Blur Approved Entertainment. So I hope you guys are watching there as well. Drop some comments and let us know where you're watching from so we can see how it works out in the future, where we can keep going live and so forth.
Yeah.
Yay. I know I have to upload some things about Titan. I have a bunch of pictures, a bunch of memes that I want us to look at. Um, but before I get into it, I'm gonna let Dorian say something about Attack on Titan or what you're feeling. What are you thinking? I know you were watching it, catching up. How are you feeling now that we're nearing the end of the season pretty soon?
This most recent episode had me like mad angry.
Mhm.
And it's like, it's because it's just so relative to our current world, dog. And
Facts.
it's like, if you couldn't grasp it, like our real life struggle, right? Like, if you couldn't grasp it as, like, let's say if it was you and I having a conversation about it, and if you didn't grasp it, but then you're watching a cartoon and then completely grasp it, then
Yeah.
that's probably the moment to like start understanding some shit because it breaks it down so good. And I'm like,
Yeah.
my heart, yo.
When you say that Attack on Titan is like the world that we live in now, I feel like as you are nearing the end of this series, you really are starting to understand how depressing this universe really is. I was on a call earlier and I was telling all these people like how I love Attack on Titan. And I was like, watching the end and reading the end, it is very depressing. And this one girl was like, well, it was already a depressing anime. And I was like, of course. But as it gets to the end, it really settles in a lot of concepts that just kind of weren't like wasn't in our face before because we
Right.
had so many questions.
The series matured. It
Facts.
wasn't going to be a show with like a young, bustling protagonist like for but so long. They're going, this isn't like your typical shonen. Like,
Yes.
they're not just going to be hollering and screaming and then that's them the entire, like, you know what I mean?
Mhm. And one thing like so before we get into the episodes that we haven't reviewed on the show yet, I want to kind of bring all of our watchers back to the beginning. And this is before we get into any spoilers. So, and this is even before, even if you haven't watched Attack on Titan, you could probably listen to this part of it. But when we first start watching Attack on Titan, we notice about 3 to 5 different themes of the show. One is that these people have been terrorized for over 100 years by these titans. And we're kind of told that it's due to some sort of epidemic or pandemic that ravaged the world um, and caused these titans to basically kill off most of humanity, except for the people in the walls. Um, and we kind of learn that the titans come from this devil, basically like some some woman, Ymir, as you get deeper into the show, this is the story. Some woman, Ymir, made a pact with the devil and kind of created all of these titans. And we focus in on particular characters like Aaron, Armin, Mikasa, and whatever. And the theme is they're devastated, and Aaron is like, I want to get revenge and kill all Titans for like whatever. Um, and we're kind of following their story and the story of the scouts, um, kind of trying to learn more about the Titans and get beyond the walls and just survive every day. And one of the other main themes was there was a secret in the basement.
Yes.
Now that
That's
we're in the fourth season, people don't even think about the basement anymore.
not if you were keeping up with it. No, like we're beyond that now.
And that's what's crazy is like that was one of the things that we had the most intense emotions about was the basement. Like, what's in the basement? What's in the basement? And I don't know, for some people, it wasn't anticlimactic for me what was in the basement. It was actually pretty exciting for me when I found out what was in the basement because I was like, oh crap, here comes a grander story. Like what I thought was going to be like just this one page of revelation is now a whole new book, a whole new encyclopedia of crap to discover.
Right.
So, hi
Oh,
Nate.
hi,
Thanks for
Nate.
joining our stream. Yes, guys, if you're watching, please say hi. Let us know where you're watching from so that we can say what's up to you. Okay, let me take down welcome to um Anime Toku because I want to put up here what we're talking about so you guys know kind of where we're at. Attack on Titan, Takeover
Yes.
series review for now. Okay. There are some other things that I feel like Attack on Titan kind of evolved into, which was these Titan shifters, and we wanted to learn even more of the origin beyond behind where did the Titan shifters come from and why are they here and all of these things. Why is Rainer? I call him Rainer. I don't know if some people say Reiner. I say Rainer.
It's all the same shit to
Right.
me.
Okay. So Rainer and Bertold, Annie and Ymir, the not Ymir the founder, but Ymir the scout. Um, Krista's Krista's girlfriend. His story is love of her life. Um,
It is the love of
and
her life. Like,
yes, like
nobody
I
forced her to get pregnant. That's anything.
and that's so crazy because I think we're going to talk about that and maybe answer one of our questions. But then again, I'm thinking maybe we should wait till the end of the series to answer the question.
Yeah.
Um, so I want to get into the Titan shifters and ask Dorian a question. When you first discovered that Rainer and Bertold and Annie were Titan shifters, can you recall some of the questions that was in your head, some of the emotions you had around it?
Well, with Annie, okay, so I have two different experiences because, like, I clumped Rainer and Bertold as like one, and then Annie as like a whole separate experience.
Mhm.
So, like, with Bertold and Rainer, I actually found out that they were Titans from a doujinshi by accident.
Oh,
So I was
a
just like
doujinshi though.
a doujinshi though, like literally on one of my sites. And then
Was it it was yaoi?
yeah. So I
Oh
was
my
like, I'm just looking at it like, hmm. And then as like they're going through like what they're going through in the panels, and it's just like, yeah, because we're the armored and fucking colossal. And I was like, oh, hi Reno. Um, hi Skinny.
yes.
Like, oh my god. So I'm like, oh, now they Titans and shit. So when it came to light in the anime, I was just like, I already knew. But then
Yeah.
like Annie, all things pointed to Annie, but it was just still the way the episode developed when she turned when they were like down in like that like passageway and like that underground area. So
Yeah.
it's like everything pointed to her, so it was obvious who she was. But like when she actually did like the reveal, I was like, oh shit, and like because
Yeah.
there was real havoc going on in that video. Well, in that episode.
And like havoc for me, that's the key word. And with Annie, even after reading the entire manga, but my questions during that time was still the questions I had at this point in the manga, where we are
Mm-hmm.
now in the anime, was like, why did Annie kill all of those scouts that way? When you think about Annie's personality and things that she has said since, because if you are caught up on the series, on the anime series,
Mm-hmm.
Annie has since softened up. She's no longer hardened in her
Mm-hmm.
crystal sh- whatever. And once Aaron released all the hardening on all the Titans, and you are starting to see that she really just doesn't, she just wanted to go back home. And that was really her whole purpose of going along with everything. But to me, it was just like weird that she still killed all of those scouts, and that she um kind of went along with fighting Aaron. And I felt like if you just wanted to go back home, you could have hardened out somewhere in the forest.
Right.
Or you could have dug a hole underground and hid from Bertold and Rainer and everything, and waited whatever amount of. I mean, I don't think she could have unhardened though. That's the thing. I don't know if she was capable of releasing her own hardening.
Right. I guess
So
because ouch. I guess because she might have like, you know how like when they put you in like a catatonic state, like cryo freeze and
yeah.
all that?
Mhm.
I think that's what she activated, so it was probably on purpose because she knew that if she made it like reinforced, that
Yeah.
they wouldn't have much of an ability to break through it. Or at
Yeah.
least that's what I think. Because it's like,
Hey, Mike.
hi,
That's my
there's
boo.
no reason to like. I don't know. She took the safe bet, but it's
Yeah.
like 5 years later, here she comes back into the series. Like,
And you know what? I think when you listen to her explanation for everything that she has done, um, and when it comes to like when you're caught up on the episodes now, and when she talks about why she did what she did, it really brings to light like this whole theme that's overall in Attack on Titan, is that some things that happened in this show and in this series happened because people just didn't know any better. They didn't know what to do. They were raised with these ideas and literally brainwashed for generations. And even if they had their own like motives, they still just didn't know what to do. They like Annie explained, like, we were taught that it was okay to not only kill soldiers but to kill civilians. And
right.
when I think about that, I think that okay, not only is it okay for her to kill civilians over on Paradis, but it's okay for her to kill Marleyan civilians too if need be.
Yeah.
So when I was like back then, like, why would Annie do this? What is her motive? Like, okay, I guess we'll find out eventually why these Titans want to kill all these people in the walls. There must be a reason why people want to kill them in the walls. At first, I thought it had everything to do with the fake royalty in the
Mm-hmm.
middle of the walls, but now we know it really doesn't. It
Right.
doesn't
That
really.
like they really have little to do with anything. Like,
It's they do, and then at the same time, they have everything to do with it. It's like
right.
almost like I guess it was King Fritz that was the one. So that's another recap that I want to get into, and then I'll get back to the Titan Shifters. But do you remember or recall the King Fritz story?
Yes.
So if for anyone who isn't caught up or don't remember the King Fritz story, to summarize, King Fritz pretty much got tired of the Eldian Empire and kind of set up this ruse and put all of the Eldian people in these walls, um, sacrificing thousands of them, turning them into colossal titans, and building the walls around them. So he sacrificed his own Eldians, thinking, "Oh well, it's like it's okay. It's a worthy sacrifice for all that we've done. That's okay. We can kill our own people."
Right. And
And
we
then,
don't want to kill people no more. So we're just gonna go over here.
yeah,
And then I'm a
and he
brainwash everybody forward. My bad. I'm a
literally,
brainwash everybody
you're
going
right.
forward so no one remembers that there are humanities all across like this world. Like you're born and bred to believe that you live in this habitat and that there's nothing else outside of it except imminent death.
Yes. And speaking of imminent death, one of the things that King Fritz sent out to the outside world was, if you mess with this island, we will send the rumbling off to you. Um, and there's just so many things, but this is good because I want to tie back into the Titan shifters and then talk about King Fritz. Like sort of, I don't know if it was his influence or if it was the Reese's influence over them. I don't know if it's Reese or Weiss, I can't remember. But anyway, back to the Titan shifters. So Dorian, do you
Mm-hmm.
have a favorite Titan shifter from like the first couple seasons, not these new ones?
Oh damn. I mean, other than Aaron, it would probably have to be like Ymir because Ymir wasn't like bad. She was just
Mm-mm.
one of those people that were in it for what she needed to be in it for.
Yep. I completely agree. Like Ymir, I don't know. I really feel for her. Like I was like doing a deep dive of Attack on Titan last night, and I really got into it with Ymir's story because we know her history of her like being like basically taken by a cult, but not like kidnapped, but just like she was already abandoned anyway, and they
Right.
just kind of took her in and they named her Ymir, um, in a like in a honoring
They
of Ymir
prayed to her and all of that.
yeah, as like as if she was like this personified version of Ymir the founder.
Right.
Um, and then once their cult was captured, they killed them all and turned them into pure titans, which are the titans that we see kind of brainlessly eating everybody. Um, and she roamed for like 60 years. So Ymir was just in this roaming, and she even said it was like in her letter that she wrote or something, I think to Historia, or I think it was in her letter to Historia. She was saying how terrifying it was. It was just like 60 years of terror. And then she eats Rainer's friend who has the what Titan was that?
It
The
was
Jaw Titan.
yeah.
The Jaw Titan. For some
Yeah.
reason I feel like she used to be called the Jumping Titan, but
I think we made up our own names for them before they got officially named after the time skip,
yes.
with the exception
Yeah.
of like Colossal and Armored. Everybody else, like, we just called it shit. Like,
Yeah, because I we didn't even really know what to call Aaron at first until they finally revealed that he was the Attack Titan.
right. Because it would just be like Aaron in his Titan form. Because we knew what else, we
Facts.
didn't know what else to say.
Literally, that's what it was. So, but for me, Ymir, what I liked about her the most was Ymir knew when she became a Titan shifter, she knew exactly, like she knew everything, but she didn't reveal the truth because she's like, yo, I just suffered for 60 years. I'm going to die in 13 years. I'm going to live for me. I got a second chance at life. And what these people are doing is bullshit anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But another thing about Ymir is that she felt so much remorse for killing Rainer's and Berthold's friend. I wouldn't even say it was Rainer's friend, more like his comrade, his
Yeah,
rival.
their
Because I
military mate, because that's what they
yes,
were when they went
basically
over
what he
there.
was. And someone who Rainer was kind of jealous of and wanted to be and whatever. But
He's so
yeah,
sorry.
like but she felt so much remorse for killing him that she felt kind of indebted to Rainer and Bertold. Which just kind of makes me sad because Rainer and all of his messed up confusion,
Bro.
they want us to feel sympathy for him so bad, dog,
It's
so
impossible.
bad.
I can't do it. I can't in good faith have sympathy for a character who long realized this shit is stupid and then still went through with it because you were
Facts.
fucking programmed. Like, come on, bro. You
But
this
his
is
program glitched and broke several times.
bro. I'll wait till we get to that episode to let that out.
Yeah.
I'll wait.
Okay. We're getting there. We're almost there because I just wanted to go over the Titan shifters. And we'll skip over a lot of the other details like the Ackermans, and where they come from and how they were created. We'll skip over that. We'll skip over the other royalty and like their goals and the reason why um the founding titan can't do something specifically because there's the will of another royal person that won't die off. So it's like because that will exists, we can't make any changes, despite having the power to do so.
Right.
So there's so many things. All right, I'm trying to think what episode we left off on. I don't know. I think the episode that we left off on was when Armin was talking about, I think it was the episode when Armin and Connie
Uh-huh.
went back to Ragako or Connie's homeland. I think that was the last
Okay.
episode we talked about because I was saying how Armin, I was sympathizing for Armin. Well, I had empathy for Armin because he was suffering.
Right.
Um, and he felt so bad about what he had done. And he felt bad about what he couldn't do and who he wasn't. He was not Erwin. Um, and he couldn't stop all these things from happening. Like the rumbling has already started, which is sad in itself, dog. So yeah, I'm gonna let you pick up kind of where you left off, Dorian, and I'll come and follow through.
All right. So where we're at current episode or where we're at last time we talked.
Let's pick up where we left off last time we talked.
Okay. So what
A
are
lot
we?
has happened.
We're in Ragoku. Okay, so then
We're like that's like
he's
two
letting
episodes
Falco
behind.
know, like you was about to get fed to my mom's. Okay, bro, it was a lot in that episode, but I'm still trying to figure out how they go from the town where it was like literal debris to the
Mhm.
next town, and they're drinking mead and eating meat pie and shit, and everybody's dancing in the town and nothing's destroyed. I'm like, were we in a different part of the walls? Because I was making fun of that for a good minute.
Yeah, no, so that's interesting that you say that because I feel like we're not going to find that out exactly until after this. But for the most part, there are villages that I feel like are not near the hardened walls
Right.
that would not get
Higashi.
affected. Yeah,
Right.
that would not get affected. And I that's pretty much, I feel like Ragako was going to get affected, but somehow it didn't yet, or maybe Aaron just didn't move those Titans that way on purpose because he knew it was
And
Eldian
that's what I'm
territory.
trying to figure out. Because for as many Titans as there were that were proceeding to, march, I'm under the impression that the entirety of the island has like its foundation has crumbled because all of the Titans came out of every single wall in the John and they started walking. So
Mhm.
it fucked me up a little bit when they were in the next scene throwing confetti and drinking beer and eating pie and shit because I'm like, everything should be destroyed, like except the inner houses, like the village houses. Everything
Yeah.
along the perimeter is fucked. Like,
Yeah. And then it's crazy because all the walls came down. So you would think, but not everything got destroyed because they did clarify that. Remember when the people were arguing, they were talking about how like some people are for Aaron and some people are like, well, we need to stop him or we're angry with him for
yeah,
destroying our, so right next to the pie in the celebration was dead people and debris.
right.
Like wherever a footstep missed was
Right,
okay, and
where
then
it was cool, and I'm just like, God, you
yeah,
gotta be some kind of lucky, like just, I just missed the giant step. But then,
and they're
who's to
trying to
say
go
the
on.
one that comes second? Like, that's bad.
What's crazy to me is it is the calmness. It's the sleep. Remember, I think I said that last time. How do you go to sleep? Like, I know that they had to sleep because it's like, okay, what do we do next? And they're trying to figure out like, are we just gonna let Aaron go rumble across the world and we just live on here? Um, I gotta eat. I gotta do something. But I'm
So
just like, dog, I don't think I could sleep
I
hearing that.
wouldn't be able to sleep. Not only is it like very loud noises, I heard people to be salty about Attack on Titan. You're salty every episode.
Yeah, Saudi, yeah, is that's from the start of the show. You Saudi every episode. It don't
Literally,
matter.
like it's
Their
always something that's
existence
gonna
is
make
salt.
you mad. I was
Yes.
tasting some extreme salt this past episode.
I don't know what this means.
Oh, because you were saying like either Reese or Weiss,
Oh
for
yeah,
the
yeah.
family,
Yeah.
but one of the
I do
names
think there's a
from
Whis.
BBC.
I think there's a Whis in Attack on Titan that was like not that big of a deal of a character. And then Reese is that family
Right,
that
his story is dead and
that
all that.
story, yeah, yeah. Um and then also Nate was like, okay. Okay, thank you, yeah. Yeah, I
Oh
was like, "What is
boy,
he talking about?" I did not
yes,
know what he was
Aaron the
talking about.
goat.
I feel that way, Aaron the goat, but then I also don't feel that way. And I guess you guys will see, but I really feel like Aaron is both and not at the same time. I'm sad. Can you tell I'm sad? Can you tell I'm depressed
Yeah,
about
because
this?
it's a hard genre to
It's a
digest.
hurt piece. So, uh, but I feel like that's again, it's war. Like Attack on Titan really shows this dystopian kind of coping always with this kind of war society all the time. And if we relate it back to the real world, like I was reading, not that we're not going to get political here, y'all, but I was reading, oh, there's a comment that I agree with. I was reading this news about Ukraine and
Yeah,
how there was someone saving dogs and she stayed in Ukraine and blah blah blah. Um and she just stayed to help people and to help the animals in the main city of Kiev. And she
yes,
got gunned down by Russian militants in her car. Just living life, trying to live. And I feel like that was when Aaron was like, "I'm Aaron Yeager," like in
ah,
their ear. And boy, just like, "Dog, I'm just trying to get groceries and the
he
walls
really
coming
dropped his
down
bandages.
around
That's
me."
bad. Which
Like,
which turns out to be Annie's pop, like dropping his
yeah,
groceries.
yeah.
Like,
They're
oh,
all the way over in Marley, like, but it's just like people that were like literally probably at the market in like on the island, just chilling, just like, I know there's a war out there, but like I gotta take care of what's right here. And then the walls come down and like bam, life has now ended.
right. But then
And
let's think
it's
about that for a second. My bad.
no,
So
go ahead.
like right now, what however you want to dice it's a war going on. It ain't got nothing to do with us right now, but it is, right? And in a way, and then it's not like imagine with what happened when Aaron just turned on the broadcast and everybody's head got fucking breached for a second. Imagine if us in like now in 2022, imagine if we just got breached and something just like
Again.
entered our brainwave and was just like, yo, this is what's happening. I honestly feel like we would actually be on top of shit. It'd be at the last minute because you can't stop some shit that's happening right now. But then that would be the moment that people would likely do something. Like we can read as much news about what's going on in the world as we want. But like if it's
Mm,
not right here, we're not
in
thinking
your
about
face. Yeah. Then you kind of, yeah. It's like I halfway feel that way and I halfway don't because I feel like we just went through something for a couple years that was in our faces and we see how people have reacted. No matter what side of the fence you fall on, people still reacted in ways that could have been unnecessary, I would say. So like
Very.
there were lots of actions that happened throughout Attack on Titan and recently in the show that were unnecessary but were sort of these results of like this has been my experience for so long, let me react immediately. And like even with Connie taking Falco, and it's like I know you want to save your mom, G.
Right, but we don't kill kids, bro. Like
It's just like it don't matter to you no more. And it's like you save your mom and then what? She like I just
now she a
it's like that
Titan.
it's that
Then you
dilemma. It's
mad
like
because she only lived 13 years now, and you're like, why she had to be cursed? It's gonna be something.
yeah, it is it's just like it's hard. It's hard. Let me put up this comment talking about Aaron because we were saying Aaron the goat, Aaron not the goat. Saying like he just wanted to break a cycle.
I
Facts.
feel that. I feel
I feel
that.
like that was Aaron's driving energy. Like his motivation always was breaking a cycle.
Ever since Aaron, they were like, listen, it's real. Like the ongoing conversation in all of the anime forums is, in short, are you team Aaron or not? And you have the mass. I feel like it's an even, ratio of people where they're like, no, regardless of what's happening to y'all, genocide is wrong. And then the other side that's like, yo, they have been getting wrecked for God knows how long by people who were told that they should just die off the strength. No, we have to
Yeah.
get our mitts back. We just can't keep
Yeah.
letting them kill us.
And that's exactly how the actual characters in the show like that's what they're actually saying. And it kind of mirrors what people out in the real world are saying in response to the show before even seeing how the characters are reacting. Because we know
Absolutely.
what Aaron's going to do before we get the people's view. And people were already in our real world being like, well, which side you fall on? And this is wrong, this is right. It's exactly what's about to happen in the anime.
Right.
And then another thing that is so funny, speaking on real world, whatever, let's talk about in the same episodes we're seeing rising the Jaegerist, the right
You're
wings,
not,
the
I
right
was about to
wingers.
say, the other word wasn't wrong either. But, for the sake of not getting banned,
And it's just interesting that Aaron used them for his agenda. So though I feel like Aaron do we think that Aaron would be a Jaegerist?
like non-Titan Aaron Yeager, would he be a Jaegerist? I
Would
don't think
Titan
so.
would Titan yeah, would that Aaron and I would say that Aaron and beginner Titan Aaron, like when he lost his memories, you know how when you first turn into a Titan shifter, you lose your
Right.
memory for some time. That Aaron that so badly wanted to help the scouts as a Titan and
Mm-hmm.
before Titan Aaron, which is the same Aaron kind of, because he been was a Titan for a while and he just didn't know. So
Right.
would he be a Jaegerist?
Young, like very young, starting out Aaron, no. Because Aaron's hatred for the Titans ran so deep after what he experienced.
Hmm.
So like, and then no, honestly, if I think about Aaron in his entirety, I think it's no altogether. Like, definitely young Aaron is absolutely not. But like, if you think about Aaron's character as he grew and matured in the series,
Yeah.
he still kept true to what he wanted to do. No matter, he just got more cunning and had, because once he realized that you can't be straightforward, you got to develop a ruse. Once he started playing the political game aspect of it, Aaron, in truth, is doing everything that he wants to do. He is keeping to what he said he was going to do.
Yeah.
It
And
warped a little
yeah,
bit, but
And the warping, I'm so glad you used that word. The warping of Aaron's character, I feel like shows and his manipulation that he's putting out there, his manipulation of Falco, his manipulation of Armin and Mikasa with the mean things that he says to them and fighting them, his manipulation of the Jaegerists, his manipulation of the scouts that stick with him way back when Levi got mad at him. When Levi got mad that Aaron did something, he did a plan that went against what Levi wanted to do. But I felt like it wasn't that Aaron was doing it to just defy you just for the sake of defiance, but he was doing it because there was something that he was starting to learn
Mm-hmm.
and he couldn't see past what he learned, and ultimately I think ultimately Aaron cares for the people in his life and cares for his homeland and just takes it into his own hands.
Right. Because
And yeah,
somebody has to do the work. Like, no,
yeah.
that's
And I
literally
feel yeah,
Aaron's job. He's the one that has to do the work. Like,
yeah. And I think before he set out on the work, like right before he left, I really feel like he still wouldn't have been a Jaegerist. He would have been like, all right, we can use some of their radical ways in war. We can work alongside them, but I'll never be with you. I'm never gonna be putting guns to my people's heads and all that kind of stuff. Now, as the enemy of the whole world, yes, I will. But as someone who's like with everyone, like if I'm in my group with my peers, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm either going to be
right.
the all overarching villain or I'm going to be Aaron Yeager.
And
Like I
like
feel like yeah.
there's always small glimpses of Aaron showing that he cares. Like when we go back a couple of episodes when Zeke hit Falco and Colt with the that's a shame. And beforehand, when Aaron's just like, wait, because he could have just been like, fuck it, this is what we came here to do. But he
Mhm.
really told him, like, yo, wait a second, there might be an alternate way. But then, Zeke was like, it's all or nothing, fucking raw. Like,
Facts. That's nothing we got to get into. We got to get into Zeke. To be honest, when we're ready to get there, Dorian, we have to get into Zeke because he's such a major player in these episodes and in the mindsets of so many people. Like I just don't think people understand. I think they do and don't understand like Zeke's overall influence over like the honorary Marleyans, those Eldians that lived in Marley. Um, his influence over like Yelena,
mm-hmm,
um, and just his influence, I think, over even like the scouts in a way. You know, just because he has been this big enemy for so long. And he's also done things that makes me think why.
right.
Like, what was the point of that whole thing with Irwin? What was the point of killing all those scouts? If you wanted Aaron, you could have walked in there just like your father and you could have kidnapped Aaron, yo.
But no, you keep sending these teenager ass kids to kidnap other teenagers, and then they're all like hollering and screaming at each other. It's one of those moments when you're so smart and yet you did something so dumb. Like
Facts.
it,
Like, for real. Like, why? And the thing is with Zeke is that he knew better. Like he didn't he broke out the Matrix well before Rainer did. And then he had the understanding of the other side before he even became like a Titan shifter, before he became the Beast Titan. And
right,
he's of royal blood. There's so much that he understood when he became the Beast Titan, and he still was just like, I have no problem with his solution.
right.
I don't agree with it, but I'm not mad that he's like the solution was to euthanize. No, sorry, what the hell is the
He used euthanize.
okay? and to basically make all of the Eldians infertile.
Right.
Like I am not okay with it, but I'm okay that that was your solution because you didn't have to kill pretty much anybody to do that. All
He
you needed
didn't.
was Aaron. What I'm against is that you know the history and mostly and almost mostly the truth of why these people are the way they are. You know why that's why I think it is. I think it was his father abandonment issues. Um there was something else there. Like his killing of these Eldians and the scouts and stuff had to do with something else. It didn't have to do with his plan at all. I think it was
It
some of
was
his
just more of
conditioning was
like
still
something's
there.
in there.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy to like backpedal a bit when you're saying like he'd been unplugged himself from the Matrix. I only think that's partially true. I
Yeah.
think Zeke accepted the very real facts, so the science, right? Because
Mhm.
obviously when he inherited the Titan, he gained the knowledge and learned through science, blah blah. You'll figure out the correlation. But
Yeah.
I still think his reasonings, like his euthanation plan,
Mhm.
I think that is rooted in Marleyan hate because
Yeah.
it's still the Titans are bad, but instead of us all killing each other anymore, let's just stop having babies and then that'll put the end to the Titans. So it still goes back to when he was very small and his father is just like, yo, Eldians are this and that, don't believe what the Marleyans say. Then he betrays his parents because
Yeah.
he's like, no, look at what they're doing. He's still that kid.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? That was
Exactly.
taught self hate.
It was almost like his experience with his father and his parents and all of that would not allow him to move past completely unplugging. Sorry, I'm just looking at my mom right now. Like, I don't understand.
But she just
But
won't
that
watch.
but that's what I completely agree. Like it was almost like that conditioning was too much of an obstacle and almost like he chose it. He's just like, "Oh, I know better, but you know what? This conditioning it feeds it motivates me more than breaking free from it completely." So, uh I just I'm going to always hold that I am not a Zeke fan. I'm just not. I'm never going to be a
Me
Zeke fan.
neither. Me neither. Like at times, I feel like I understand his plight. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
damn, he lost his pops because of everything that's going on. He's learning all this shit through the government, and even though he knows that he knows that it's wrong, but
Yeah.
he's still in agreement that something has to be done about the Titans. Then like him having this weird love hate relationship with his brother, like he's just a lot of things in one. It's like he's an enemy, but then he's not an enemy. Like it's just so much at once in his character. And I guess
Yes. And he's
because they give
older.
you like if he was gonna be a sign, I'm trying to figure out which one because I don't know his
It's
birthday.
hard, yo. It's hard. Oh, let me look it up. But it is hard. It's hard to find Zeke's sign. To think of it like off the top of our head. I just I don't know. There also I think that he had a part of him that how can I say? He had a part of him that I feel like was a bit elitist. Like he wanted to be the most important and the strongest. That's
Right,
why I think he connected with Levi the way that he did because Levi is seen as the strongest scout, basically, the strongest human, and I feel like he would have never been so connected or wanted to stay so connected to Levi or care
right,
that much about him if it didn't stimulate something in him.
right.
And I really think that he always wanted to be the strongest, the one that everyone kind of listened to and revered and everything. And I think that's why he wanted to go head to head with Irwin. and ultimately kill him, and why he loved going head to head with Levi. It's like, I respect you and I want you around, and damn, you would be a great Titan shifter, but at the same time, I never want you to defeat me.
It's
He's a
so
weird bull,
weird. Like,
yo.
you're a
He's a
weird
weird
bull.
bull. He
Like,
really is. He's and rightfully so, because he was raised the way he was raised. He's a goddamn Leo.
God. Like,
Yeah. Yes, yes, yeah.
I
It
just
fits.
knew that
It
he was
fits.
born when it was hot outside. I just knew.
He fits. You see, he never wears clothes. He's always walking around with no shirt on, and some pants.
I can't deal. Like,
And he does want that attention, especially fatherly attention. Like, he
that's
attaches to anything that
crazy.
makes him feel like that.
Right.
Um, yeah, but I ain't even gonna give Zeke all that screen time for real,
I'm
because you know what,
crying.
Zeke took up enough. Took up enough. All right. Another part of that, not even just that episode, but these last few episodes, that we can kind of talk more about when I started talking about was Armin. Um, there's a lot I feel like that's been revealed about Armin over these last few episodes, and then some things I want us to remember. One fun fact about Armin was that Armin killed a human before he killed a Titan. Cause he killed a human way back in that arc with Kenny Ackerman,
Right.
and he killed one of Kenny's like henchmen, like one of his peoples. And remember, he was like in so much he had like this traumatic uh response to killing this human,
Right.
despite it was kill or be killed basically. And like he was like throwing up all the time. And I feel like Armin never truly gets over the things that he has done that does not fit within his ideology. Or
That's
but then
true.
I also think that Armin, excuse me, the reason why he can't get over it, cuz I feel like he doesn't yet, he hasn't found what makes it feel worth it.
Right.
Like, and I think that's why he keeps saying like, I'm not like Erwin. I shouldn't have been saved, because I did all those things, but was it worth it? I still wasn't able to stop these things from happening. And one thing I love about Armin though is that he actually says it though.
Right. Out loud.
And he
And you gotta
keeps
commend it.
moving. But people want to say he weak. Armin weak, he corny.
Armin
Oh,
has
he can
never been
strategize.
weak to me. Like, even when they were like young kids just starting out in the series, like, Armin was never weak to me because there is something very important about your intelligent character.
Yeah.
Like, he was
And not
intelligent and not
yes.
unbearable. Like, he wanted to learn. He was eager and he was thirsty for knowledge.
Facts. Am I freezing?
No.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. I thought I froze. I'm sorry.
No, I thought you were about to make a comment.
No, no. I was letting you finish it out because I was agreeing with what you were saying.
Oh, well, yeah, like, he just wants to learn. And, Erwin was obviously somebody that he admired the most. So it's always easy wanting to learn when you're not put at the forefront. You feel what I'm saying?
Mhm. Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's
I
like,
do.
it was easy for him to play tactician and all that stuff then because ultimately Erwin was executing. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yes.
Now,
Yes.
Armin, he has to do both. He has to strategize and he has to execute because Gene can be captain,
Yeah.
but Gene is captain by like motivational force. He's just like, okay, we just got to get out here and get it done because fucking hey, that's our job. But
That's what we
like,
gotta do.
right, but
That's
Armin
what I
is
love
just
about them.
this is what we gotta do, and he's laying it out like bit by bit. He doesn't have a moment to just sit and be because he has to constantly like put it all together. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Nobody else has that responsibility but him now.
And the things that he strategizes and that he says out loud, like which goes with what I just said before, it scares the shit out of him.
For
Like
real.
he'll come up with a plan, and he like some people will say the thing of like, oh, I don't think we should do this because that's gonna be no. Armin's like, I think we should do this, and that scares me. Like I'm terrified, but that's like the only way.
But it's like I gotta be real with you. This is the route that we have to like. We gotta go this route.
Yes,
I
and
really
I
hate
just
this, but we gotta like. And then he sits there and he monologues, and he's just like, "Erwin, what would you do in this situation?" Like all this kind of stuff. So
and another thing too is I think we see that part of him and that side of him in his relationship with Annie. Um, I was reading with some people were saying like, "Oh, that's so cliche that Armin would fall for Annie." I'm like, it's kind of not. I don't think it's cliche that Armin would fall for Annie at all, or not fall for her romantically, but just fall for her. I think
right.
it makes the most sense that Armin would understand Annie, or that he would take interest in her. It's like you have been so elusive, you're so strong, you have this ulterior motive that we don't know if it aligns with the other Titan shifters or if it doesn't. Because guess what? You chose to avoid getting captured, but then you stayed hardened. Are you staying hardened because you can't unharden? Are you staying hardened because you you don't want to go back, or you don't want to be like, there are so many unanswered questions with Annie, and it
Right.
only makes sense that Armin would be attracted to such a huge question mark
Mm-hmm.
right in the basement of the city you live in.
Right.
And if it wasn't Armin, it was going to be Hanji.
Right. Because it was just going to be one of those two. Because we don't have our. There is no more thinkers around at this point. There's no more brains. Because the
Yeah,
only other
not in that way.
brain left is Zeke, and he's an op. So you can't
Facts.
count on him to help you think of nothing. So
Hell no. And if he does, he's just gonna use it for his own motive anyway.
right.
He ain't gonna be looking out for us. He ain't gonna be looking out for y'all. Clearly, he doesn't really give a crap about the LDN people because he don't even want y'all to exist no more.
And that's crazy. No children for you. Like,
Yes. I feel like the other brains of the show, like the other possible brains like Gene, um, just have other ideas in mind. Like Gene just want an easy life.
right.
Like I could be a great leader, but it's hard to be a leader. It's hard to go to war.
It's hard
Like
to
it's
be an effective leader when your emotions are tore the fuck up. Like,
facts. When the people you love betraying you, people you love you might gotta kill, people you don't know dying in front of you and you don't want them to die. It's like I could literally just be blind to this all.
right, your enemies are literal kids, like children.
That you grew up with. Yeah, literal
Not
children
even
too.
just
And
not even just that, like
actual
your
children.
friends and actual children. Like,
Yes. Who you feel bad for after like he apologized to Gabby, like sorry for kicking you in the stomach. And
right,
I love that he left it right there though. It's like, damn, I shouldn't have fucked up a kid. But you kinda had it coming. But I'm still sorry. Like
right.
Rainer, I ain't apologizing to you, dog. Like, no, dog, you had too many years
You
to
had
get this
you
together.
waiting it through for a little too long, guy. You was oh god.
Because I feel like Gene and Rainer are not one and the same at all. But I feel like Rainer is what I know. Rainer really like looks up to Aaron and stuff. But I feel like Gene is what Rainer would want to be. If not
Okay.
the if not the rival, I cannot remember his name for the life of me. It was like maybe something with an M. The rival that died, the other Jaw Titan. If not
Oh, right,
him,
right. The
if
other
not that guy,
Galliard, but
the other Galliard, yeah, Galliard's
yeah.
brother, older brother.
Well, their family name is Galliard, so
Oh, right.
the older Galliard.
Yeah, I think his name was Porco or something. Was it
Yeah,
Porco? I don't know. Look,
I
I
don't know.
can't keep
Look,
up. Hey, look.
older Galliard, like,
Yeah, the one that Ymir ate.
mm-hmm.
We know that Reiner actually embodied his personality and took that on, but I feel like that personality is not that far off from Gene, and from how Gene's personality is. But then Gene's ideologies are a little bit different from his personality, and I feel like Rainer coming in and out the Matrix would love to just be blind to it all, go rest somewhere, because you see, he always sleep. Soon as he get injured, what he
It's the
doing?
only
He
way to
he milk
escape.
it, dog. He just like, let me die, yo.
Just
Let
let
me
me
sleep or let
go.
me die. I want to rest. I don't want to see this no more. And I feel like that's how Gene inside is just like, yo, I just want to drink wine and
And
chill, have an
chill.
easy life. But Rainer is like, Gene's like, well, I'm gonna run towards the fight, and Rainer's like, I'm gonna run towards the good wine and sleep, which for me is actually death.
Which for me is actually death.
Like, let me die, please. And I love that everyone's just like, Rainer, wake up, you cannot die. No. Whether it's the children be like, no, Rainer, I look up to you, don't die, or if it's someone else being like, Rainer, you don't even deserve death,
Right,
you
wake
deserve
your
this
ass
suffering.
up. God,
uh and he's like going through a constant identity crisis. Like, it's just like his true self is constantly breaking through
this
all of
is
his yes.
that man, like his brain. Rainer's brain is literally mashed potatoes right now, bro.
Facts.
Like his shit is
Facts.
gobbledygook right now. He does like his
Facts.
brain is not a solid entity inside of his skull. No, thank you.
Exactly. Thank you, Michael. I'm
Like,
just going on the comments. I know we've been talking for a while.
Dale, keep the flirting offline.
Listen,
It's like, no.
listen. What am I doing after this? Um, so Mermaid, let us know. Are you talking about Rainer being blissfully ignorant? Clarify that for us. I think you are because you put this comment as you were talking about Rainer.
Right. Said F them kids. Why we?
Yeah,
Not
yeah. Thank
Falco
you.
though. See, Gabby can still hold it, but like, and it's like I am slowly beginning to sympathize with Gabby, and I can't help it, and it makes me so sick. But like,
It makes sense though. It makes sense. But
like
because you know why they're doing it right though, Dorian. They're doing it right
they are
because she's actually seeing where she's wrong, and she's letting it crack, and she's taking accountability, and it hurts. It
right.
hurts.
And what makes you begin to like her is that you see the growth.
Yeah.
It was like, yay, you're growing and you're breaking out of the plan. But then it's like, damn, bitch, if you
You
didn't like, why you had to kill people and do all this other ass shit?
and then you trying to become the one woman you killed, yo. Like Sasha, I know some people were just like, "Oh, Sasha died." People don't understand that Sasha for me was an integral part of the friend group
Mm-hmm.
because Sasha was another form of woman bravery,
Mm-hmm.
but she could connect with the guys because she had these carnal desires from growing up in the forest. So she really could understand men and women, which I feel like a lot of the people they they can't. Like Mikasa is just Mikasa.
Right.
Okay? She 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 just
Sasha
can't
was a well
connect.
balanced woman.
Exactly. And she
Like
was strong.
she was right. She had her own instincts because of where she grew up and things like that. Her own form of training, but because she had to get in and play in the dirt like a man, if we're going to be stereotypical,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that's what makes her so relatable. Because in her village, she wasn't exempt from nothing. Women also went out and hunted
Yeah.
and like they hunted and did housework. Like it was all in one. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It wasn't just, oh well, the women sit at home and knit baskets and all that other shit while the guys just go out and do whatever. They were doing it
Yeah.
all in their village.
And she was like, yeah, she was both a warrior and a nurturer. And I felt like Sasha could bring out the best in everybody. Like even with Historia, like people in Japan, people love Historia. I think Historia ranked like number 4. People
Oh,
in
same.
America, she ranked lower, but in Japan they love her because I think Historia it has that cutesy kind of factor, and she may seem like a weaker scout or weaker warrior, but she's not. She had formidable motivation. Like she
Right,
wanted to be strong. And I think that having someone around her like Sasha, and not just Mikasa, but someone like Sasha around her, where Sasha's motivation was survival and camaraderie and just like I feel like love. Whereas though Mikasa's motivation was more driven towards one person.
right.
So I felt like Historia could relate to both. And she, because she didn't really know who she was or who she had someone she was becoming. So I just really feel like Sasha is like this integral character that helps the growth of everybody around her. So for her to die off was sad for me because I'm like, damn, she like the anchor. Like she's like that one that grounds everybody and makes everybody laugh. And now she gone. Like
That was it for me. Just like her being funny and just like being relatable. And it's just like of all the characters that could have went. And it's like it had to be her. But then when you think about it, everybody else was already gone. So then who could it have been? Because you'd have been
yeah.
mad regardless of who it was.
Yeah. No, for real. Really. I just think it would have hit different depending on who it was.
Right.
Um but now we see Gabby kind of trying to evolve into a Sasha like character. Um and it makes sense cuz she is a lot like Sasha. She's just not as funny. She's not as
Right.
easily likable. But that comes from her conditioning. So
Right. The poor child conditioning. Like,
um I wanted to talk about before we continue with kind of the review of Attack on Titan, I wanted to talk about some of the stuff that's been coming out and showing up on the internet.
okay.
So let me upload a couple of memes first and foremost here. Um, but I do want to share this graphic that I saw on the internet here. Hopefully, you guys can see this. So, apparently, possibly, allegedly, the final episode of Attack on Titan, season 4, part 2, is going to be equivalent to the title of the chapter 130 in the manga. Then the manga ends in chapter 139.5.
Wow.
So that's 9 whole chapters.
Right.
And if this manga ends at chapter 130, you got a whole other season for chapters 131 through 139.5. And
Wow. Or a
so
movie.
the
Like,
rumor
because I've
was a
been hearing
movie.
about the movie rumor.
Yeah. Look at this. Look at this picture.
Well, look at the
Look at
foot.
the look at the Eldians, dog. They just like, yo, we just was existing with our hats on in the market,
with
having peace.
with our hats on in the market.
Nobody asked for this, yo. No one
Because
asked for
that's any
this.
kind of behavior. Like, think
Facts.
about every moment that you stepped on an ant.
Yo, do you I don't know if you remember my saying that I've had before where I said like I've said like this instant with this person is as significant as insignificant as an ant dying. And me saying that like literally changed my mindset cuz I'm just like that ant has a purpose. And I don't want to be the reason that it no longer has one, and I don't want to see its purpose as insignificant anymore.
Right.
So I'm not going to use that line anymore. So now that conflict, that situation is just insignificant to me. Ain't got
Like,
nothing to do with an ant anymore.
and for real, because in that graphic, you see you see how big that foot was?
Yeah.
Like, I
And
just
those
can't imagine.
dealing with it. Like just
Like
seeing it.
something just
I
boom,
just was living
stepping
my
right
life,
into you.
dog. Can I live my life? What's that
Dog.
one song where the boy like, can I talk my ish? That's how I feel. I just
Damn,
feel
what song is that? Because I know that song and I can't think.
I like this
Oh
one
no.
picture that you sent in,
Oh
which was
yeah.
which I thought was which was cute because we did talk briefly
Not
about
beak with
Hanji.
that long ass beak. My bad.
Oh dang.
Like,
um just sort of like, and we'll probably get into it, or this might be a good transition. The relationships between all the enemies, because we're talking about Gabby, so we're starting to see an improvement. This, how can we say, like a growth in our the relationships between all the characters. They're moving from enemies to constituents.
Right, or frenemies or some shit.
Yeah, they're against everything that each other is against, and they're for what each other is for the most part, even if they're not friends. And
Right.
I
This is
love,
literally the enemy of my enemy is my friend. That is
yeah.
what's going on right now.
And what I love about Hanji is that for Hanji, nobody is her enemy, dog. Is there's rare moments where you become Hanji's enemy. There was like 3 moments I feel like in the show where Hanji was like, "Ah, like F that. You gotta
Right.
go." But for the most part, Hanji's just like, "I just wanna explore. I just wanna do my thing. I just wanna talk my ish."
And I gotta be the leader of the scouts. So can y'all just work with me really fast?
Yes. Can you just stop being my enemy for a moment and let me figure out like what the hell is going on? Can you stop hiding things from me? Help me help you.
For reals.
Like, do you want to be this way your whole life? Do you want to be a Titan shifter? I can help you strategize. I can help you get out of Marley. Like, I just feel like Hanji could have really solved so many things. Um, and she like again, I feel like Sasha would develop into a Hanji in a way, but just less scientific.
Right.
I just would have always loved to see like a filler episode of Hanji and Sasha out together in the forest. Do you know how much fun they would have? Like,
Frolicking and doing shit.
yes. Oh, a worm. I've never seen that worm before. And then like Hanji being like, "Oh, this is the type of worm it is." And then Sasha like, "Did you know that it had healing properties?" And Hanji like, "Yeah, I did. Do you want to try it out?" And like cut themselves and heal each other. Like I
Oh my
just really
god.
feel
Like
because
but then
Hanji
they
will
probably
always take
would
it
do
there.
something silly like that.
And then you see how they were cooking potatoes. Hanji was
Right,
like
and then
putting
like
potatoes in the stew.
capturing small animals for meat and shit.
Yes.
Like
Channeling Sasha. That's why I think like I really feel like Hanji and Sasha had this unexplored relationship. It wasn't explored too deeply. Let me see. There was something else that we had meme wise ish that I feel like. Let me see. Oh yeah, this right here. Um, what? So all right. Remember when we were talking about Jean? Like obviously this is when they were kids. We were talking about Jean and I feel like that was Jean's face when he was on stage with the Jaegerists. Jaeger,
hey
is it
yo, yeah.
Jaegerist? Jaegerist? Jaegerist. That was his face. He was just like, "Oops, my bad."
I'm just up
Like you
here.
could just tell like I'm not on your side, dog. And you're so radicalized that you swear I'm with you. It's like I don't even have to pretend to not like you. You so like focused on thinking that you're the next Aaron. You don't even see that we're not even for you.
For reals. Like what?
So I'm trying to think of some other things because there's a couple things I want to get into that we
Right.
didn't talk about. And I'm trying to make sure we don't leave no loose ends. But I just kind of want to get into it. I want to talk about a couple things. One of the things I want to talk about is Mikasa
Okay.
and who she's become. Cause I don't know if I predicted Mikasa's character to turn out like this.
I, I I didn't see it at all. I feel like Mikasa is like a zombie in a way now. I feel like Mikasa has so much. Mikasa's always been our quiet character, right? Our strong
Yeah.
silence. That was her job.
Yeah.
And like, but she still had a personality. She still blushed. She still like
Yes.
smiled at times. Granted,
Mhm.
where the state of turmoil has like unleashed like tenfold, so it ain't much smiling in current time in the series.
Yeah.
But like, she's just so hardened now, and now with Aaron hitting her with the only reason you're like this is because you're a slave to my bidding, all type shit.
Yep.
Like
Excuse
she
me.
has been like, I feel like she just regressed inward and her body is just moving at this point.
Yeah. And I just like you know how we see Armin making decisions, we see Jean making decisions. I truly believe that I had to think about it. And this was me like not even thinking about the outcome of the manga. I was like, why is Mikasa like this?
Right,
Why would someone as strong as her, and while she didn't have much of an outward personality, she had a quiet funniness about her that would display here and there in the show. And this kind of cuteness. And I'm thinking, I feel like Mikasa is between two things. She's either going into complete like agony and like this just inner sadness, or
right,
she's coming to terms with the decision. Like I feel like she could possibly just like in a way she's going through a breakup. Like I feel like in her mind she's breaking up with Aaron.
right.
And she's
She's going through
just
the stages of grief. Like,
yeah. That's what I feel like her character is doing right now. And even in that last interaction she had with, I don't know who that was lying on the bed with the shrapnel in her stomach. The blonde haired chick
just some chick because I don't remember her from anything else.
from nothing. I was like, yo, so I really try to like look this up. I do not know who that chick is. And she had Aaron's scarf.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like Mikasa was like, I don't want to hear nothing you gotta say. So I was just like, is my theory of her going through this breakup real? Because at the same time, I feel like now she might be in a stage of undeniable love. Like, I'm never going to let that go. I've
Right.
come to terms with the fact that my love of my life is a maniac, and I'm useless. I'm strong for no reason, because my reason for living is a headless spine, or a head and a
Rose.
spine, a walking vertebrae, whatever.
Mikasa
Like,
knows. Like,
so I don't know. I don't know. I feel like maybe it's both. But I'm sad. Like I used to really like Mikasa, but now I kind of like wait for her to go off the screen when she comes on.
I still fuck with Mikasa because it's Mikasa. But
Yeah,
like I genuinely feel bad for like the state of her mental health right now.
yeah.
Because it's like, damn, bro, like the one thing that's making you happy is causing you pain right now.
It's
And
that's it.
now you gotta
That's
figure
it
out
right
what to
there.
do. Like,
Yeah, that's the problem right there. I think that hits the head on the nail for it. The one thing that you love is hurting you the most. Um. Okay. So I feel like we don't have to stay on Mikasa long, but I did want to talk about that. I don't know how other people who are watching feel about Mikasa or these characters, but just let us know how you feel about some of them because I want to know. So, all right, Dorian, we talked about the original Titan shifters that we learned about, but let's get into like the newer Titan shifters
okay,
and sort of their journey post Aaron turning into a walking skeleton,
okay,
and how on one end they're kind of still fighting for their own survival and they care about their family back home, and on the other end they're starting to grasp that like these people are not devils, um and on the other end they're just like, I don't care what happens, I just kind of want to live.
right.
Is there any one of them that's standing out to you the most?
I guess if it happens between now and the finale of the entire series, if we get to see Falco Titan shift, I think that would be kind of interesting to see.
Lizzie Titan.
Right, Glizzy Titan, but will he be Glizzy? But he's not going to be full Glizzy anymore. So what is he going to be? Glizzy Jaw?
Mhm.
Like he got the beak on the front with the long ass neck? Like we don't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's yeah, that's gonna be interesting. I'm interested the most in probably the cart titan and Piek. And her Piek is like very like a strategist. Like I don't know what Piek is on the team. Like I don't know if she's the brains, if she's brawn, if she's like I know that her Titan is more can be both defensive and offensive.
Mm-hmm.
So she serves as both. But personally, like I just don't know her drive. Like, do you do what you do for your peers, for your family? Are you okay with just killing these people? Do you really believe that they're devils? Like,
Right.
or I
Well,
feel, yeah.
well, I did see somewhere after this past episode that now people are becoming curious about Peak because of her interaction with Yelena when Yelena was having her spiel.
Mhm.
So it does make you want to question her now because it's like, why would you just let the enemy pet and massage your face and you just kind of, you just kind of lay
Mhm.
down and accept it? Like, if this
Mhm.
woman, if Yelena is vile to you, her petting you is not a thing. So the fact that you're letting this happen, I can see why people are more curious about her character now.
Yeah. For me, Piek signifies the complacency of people in the real world.
I can see that.
In a sense, I think because I think there's several types of complacency. I don't think that there's just one type. Like there's a complacency of a person who doesn't have the privilege to put a war first. Like that person who doesn't have a lot of money has to go to work every day, make sure their kids are fed, and is fighting whatever mental health issues they're going through, and is just trying to get through day to day life. So there's a complacency that is kind of like you don't have a choice but to be complacent. Otherwise, you can't survive in this world. I don't
Right.
feel like Piek is that type of complacent though. I feel like she's that complacent where she'll recognize when wrong is wrong. She does care about people and she'll show that, but for the most part, she gonna still go to war.
And I was just about to say that. Like, her behaviors are just like, bro, this is just my job. Like,
Yeah.
I literally get up, I clock in, I do what I got to do, and then I do it for however long, and then I clock out. Like,
And I don't want to I'm not saying this in a bad way, but she reminds me of real life military. Like I
mm-hmm.
don't know how military is overseas, but in America, I know people who are in armed forces who literally are like, "No, I don't go to war to protect my country. And no, I don't go to war because I am so opposed to this other country or these views. I joined the armed forces to have a life, to have a better life, so
Right,
I can
to
get my
have a job.
benefits, so I
Right,
can have a good job, you know, and I have respect in what I do. Like I respect being a part of the armed forces. Um, I don't agree with everything that we do in the armed forces,
right,
but I'ma still ride. Like, so I really feel like Piek is like she's the and I'm not trying to say the military is complacent. I'm not. But I do feel like she kind of represents either the complacency of a group of people who don't have the privilege to make a change.
right,
But then since she's in a place where she can make change because she's a Titan shifter, she's a soldier, I also feel like she can represent the modern day military.
right. Because a lot of people who join the military are not patriots. They are not like, they are not patriotic at all. They're not like, oh yeah, oh, American
Yeah.
shit. Like, they are
Yeah.
not pro America. They pro get that bread. And
Yes.
and if
They're
you can
pro staying
travel,
alive.
right, and if you sprinkle in a little free travel on the top, I'll take that too. Like,
Yeah. And I also think that she's a sleepy like type of person where
mm-hmm.
it's like even if I could give a crap, I'm too tired. Like I've
Yes,
been in
because
Titan form for 3 months.
I was just about to say that too, because she's the only one that can be a Titan for several months at a time. That's why she walks with assistants, because like her being in fucking bipedal form for so long, you fucking forget how to walk on 2 feet. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I think when we begin to learn more about Titans, I feel like being in your Titan form is not just physically taxing, but mentally taxing, because you can be you're in the coordinates. So you're in this constant connected communication at all times.
right.
So if you think about everything that Aaron learned, like when the moment he touched Historia's hand that day to do
Mm-hmm.
something and all this stuff came to him, I feel like when you're in Titan form, you're kind of in the back of your mind always being blasted with that.
Right.
And so I'm like, if you're in Titan form for months, I can't imagine what that does to like your mental state.
Right. And it's like no wonder fucking it's no wonder that fucking Rainer his brain is turned to mush, because like this boy I'm
Ah, dog.
gonna just say, because I can't hold it no more. Like, this nigga got a long overdue, well deserved fucking ass whooping. Like,
None of that
he
we've
really
seen is
did.
suffices.
Like
None that we've seen
any
suffice.
exactly any other scene where Rainer was getting fucked up by Aaron when they're fighting in Titan mode, him getting fucked up as a regular human, like we seeing eye to eye, and he just getting fucked up because he was just asked to follow a simple direction. He was just like, just drop it, bro. It's over with. It happened so long ago. I know the truth. Let's just drop it, bro.
Right.
He's just like, I'm a vile human being. It made me so sick to see him get eaten that I killed him, but then I still did it anyway. Like, I still like, he's just like, bro, can you just drop it, bro? And it's like he just never drops it. And then he tries to
No.
slide in, I'm sorry. And then it's like with that, it's just like, nah, you could have just dropped it, bro.
Yeah. What like I can't wait till I can wait, but I can't wait until we end the series so I can literally finally vocally and publicly say how I ultimately feel about Rainer. Like when that time comes, oh boy, oh golly, oh gee, I'm going in,
Like,
dog.
it's insane. My son was like, "Mommy, wear a sticker on your head for
Oh.
your stream." So I was like, "Okay," but like, it's madness, right? Because as I'm so I'm sitting on the edge of my bed last night watching the episode, and I'm just like, bro, and just overall with the episode, it's like you knew, like you knew when you were a teenager that something in you clicked and realized that this was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Just like how with Gabby, something in her clicked and it realized it was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And you see, like, obviously, you see the conversation bubbles up to the forefront because the Marlene is going against Jean, and they're just like, you know, they're both arguing their stances or whatever. And when I'm listening to all of that, I'm just like, it's really insane to be an Eldian living on Marley. And I'm not going to say that they allow themselves because they snatch you up when you're children. Like, I respect anybody on Marley who becomes a rebel. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? Because I don't think there's anything rebellious about wanting to live.
Yeah.
And people telling, and like, why do you need to be fed rhetoric that you're a bad race of human just for being born the way you were born?
Facts.
And then you're being taught that people on this other island that are exactly like you are even worse than you because one guy decided to take them way over there and make them none the wiser to what's going on in the world.
Facts.
When you get to a certain age living in this world, I don't understand how you don't wake up to that concept.
Exactly.
You're being sent to kill people that are exactly like you, to become an honorary individual of the people who openly, with their whole ass chest, fucking hate you. Why do you want to become a people that hate you? Instead of being with the people that are like you, not live, they're obviously not living in bliss because your island is sending motherfuckers over there to kill them. But
Mm-hmm.
like, they're just living people not understanding why these giant flesh eating things are even here. They don't even know why that's happening. And you're
Facts.
okay with just going over there and killing them. And when I apply that to real life, which I have been doing since the start of this series, is
Yes.
just like, that's why I said at the start of our stream, if you couldn't understand it, like with real life, if you couldn't understand it with you having a heart to heart with your kinman, then go watch this show and let the fucking cartoon make you understand it. Because like,
Yes.
there's this is literally what is happening in real life, bro, and it's insane.
On small scales and big scales. Like we are literally
Exactly.
having Attack on Titan. I mean, we dealt with it. I feel like in our friend group last year, we had our own series of Attack on Titan type situations happening from people kicking in the walls, and it just was a lot. And
There was a
I just
lot
think
going on all at once. Like,
and it was people that were like Greener, and we had Aaron's, and we had Mikasas, we had Levi's, we had like every personality in our friend group, like trying to just live life
mm-hmm.
and get through this conflict. And we see it on bigger scales in our workplaces, in our cities, in our country versus
Everywhere.
another country, everywhere, in every single way. And I like was
Are our
reading this
comments
one.
coming through? Because I got a couple that came through.
Yes. Yay. They're finally coming up. Okay. So let's see what Eric has got to say. Yeah, we agree. It's not
It's
it's
not.
you're not wrong for wanting to live. Yeah. I know what he's talking about when he says that. Yes.
Of real life.
This is what I like right here. I feel like if one thing that's that's the thing. You will have emotional terrorists watch this show, right? And be like, yeah, what Ringer did was brave. That's my dog. Like, you.
And then be like, that's my dog. But then go home by themselves and be like, yo, why did I just do that? And I was being a fucking dickhead. Bro,
So it's like,
it's really like that. And you're just
it
like,
really is.
it's
Yes.
mind boggling sometimes.
And then I feel like we probably know, like, errands, like people who are just like, I'm going to become the bad guy. I'm going to go to the shadows. I'm going to be the devil. And it's just like, nobody asks. Now, granted, Aaron was Aaron has a lot of motivation, I would say, around
Yeah,
his choices. But I feel like it'd be some Aaron's unmotivated.
just doing shit. Like,
Yes.
that's what it just some if Thanos was right or wrong. No, for real. It's the Eric is literally the same sort of situation where it's like you're either team Aaron or you're anti Aaron. It's the
Yeah.
same sort of situation.
Or
And it's like,
the third option of you don't judge it at all and you recognize all the parts of it. Like there's a reason Thanos chose to be Thanos.
right.
There was something happening in the universe that was a problem, and he felt like this was the solution to it.
Mm-hmm.
So there, it like for me, there are people who do things in a way that seems unprovoked, but at the same time, I truly believe that there's always a reason behind everything, even if the reason isn't directly related to the action. So it's like, when people used to go around punching homeless people
Hey
for
yo.
no, so I think the reason that they did it had nothing to do with actually punching a homeless person.
But it
Like
had
clearly,
everything to do with like getting clout. Because it wasn't just homeless people, it was anybody.
it was anybody,
Like you
and
would
there's
like
something
remember flash
inside.
mobs? When
Yes,
you couldn't go somewhere because we weren't flash mobbing, breaking out into the electric slide and shit.
they
It
were
was
flash
just a
mobbing and
bunch of
fighting.
people, right? A bunch of young boys just running up on somebody's granny talking about pussy and then putting her
Yeah,
down. And then everybody's watching a granny get socked and then they're recording it saying World Star. And then now you just have the endless reports on the news of be careful when you see a crowd of youngsters getting
yeah,
together because it's likely a flash mob. Like what?
yeah. And it seems unprovoked. It seems like there's no reason behind it. And while unprovoked, there's definitely a reason behind why they did that. And I think that when we can begin to view things like that, our worldview opens up. Like
Mm-hmm.
I do think that as humans, we have to judge things as right or wrong, but then I also feel like we have to take it a step behind. And I think that Attack on Titan challenges that directly with Aaron. Was Aaron right or was he wrong? Maybe
Right.
he was neither. Maybe he was neither. Because who was Aaron to take it upon his hands, in his own hands, and start the rumbling?
Right.
But then there were times where Aaron needed to take it upon himself to go close a hole or to go protect people. So there are times when Aaron definitely did the better thing, the right thing for the sake of others. And there are times where he's doing something that is not the best thing for the sake of others.
Right. Because that's the moment when somebody has to do the job. And it's like
Yeah.
there's currently nobody else can do it. And then when you think about the mechanism of the attack titan and all that other stuff, then obviously
Yeah.
we already know there's no one else to do it because this is Aaron's role and nobody else is the attack titan. But
Yeah.
just like in general, somebody had to get their hands dirty and Aaron chose the path, yo.
And one thing that I believe is that it's a spectrum. So where there's Aaron's actions at the extreme level, there's another opposite extreme.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like if one thing is happening, so is the other.
Yep.
So if this amazingly good thing is happening at the most extreme, at the same time, I feel like there's always going to be the opposite happening somewhere.
Right.
And it's like unfortunate, and we will have to judge it. Is it right? Is it wrong? We will have to think beyond that as well. But I feel like in a way, Attack on Titan makes us accept that bad bad things happen, and sometimes there's nothing you can do about it.
Literally
But it
nothing.
to
Like
stop the bad thing. But what we do after it happens. It's how we respond to it that becomes the most important part in our lives, because we can't change the past. They
we
can't
can't.
change that Aaron has rumbled over the whole city now. What do we do after? Do we celebrate in the streets and let this keep happening? Do we just sit in fear? Do we try to fight them? Like I think that's what's
What do we do?
yeah, that's what's important. I feel like people will definitely contest that. Because if we think about real life war, so all right, are we saying in war once war has started? Or are
Right.
we saying before war? Because I feel like people are going to ask, was it right or wrong of Russia to
Right.
invade Ukraine?
Because that's what I was about to say. Like, obviously, the wrong in war is like I can see that saying when there are generals saying that to one another. You feel what I'm saying? There's no right
Yeah,
or
like
wrong in
once
war.
war has started, like
Right.
once
And
it started.
right. Once the war has started, now the war got to run its course until it ends. But what's wrong is the civilians in the middle that literally like they have nothing. Like, why do I gotta get squished?
Yes. Why I gotta get
What did I
shot?
do?
Why
Like,
why I gotta deal with this?
why
And
does
now it's like I
Africa
gotta
have to
survive.
deal? Why does Africa have to deal with the hatred of Marley as the result of Aaron? When Marley just shouldn't have been
Facts.
fucking. When Marley just shouldn't have been doing that shit to Eldians. Now
And
the
LD,
whole
yeah.
fucking world got to suffer because of one country.
Yeah.
Like that's what's like in in the grand scheme. Like that's what's wrong. Like innocent people. Like is Oyakapon, if I
Yeah.
pronounced it correctly. Excuse
Mhm.
me if I didn't. But like he's just like, yo, my people is about to get crushed now, and I came over here in a means to try to prevent all of that.
Yeah. And now I gotta help y'all. Like now I gotta
Right,
rethink what's the right thing to do. Like you can see in on his face, like he literally accepted like, all right. Now, like literally I feel like the darkest character, the black character in Attack on Titan, is the least judgmental and kind of almost moral person in the show.
right. To be
I
introduced
know
so late in the series, like
because he's just like, I can't do nothing about my homeland. And he accepts how terrible that is. And he's just like, but all that I can do is focus on right now.
right,
And he's like, I'm still not gonna turn into a Jaegerist. I'm still not gonna oppress other people
right.
just
He's
because
just
my
like,
homeland
y'all
about to
can
get
literally
toppled.
live here. Just
Yeah,
don't kill other people. Like when I think about Aaron, personally, I'm on the side of that. I think Aaron's actions is justified because I don't think that it's wrong to want to live. But then I also understand and accept that it is wrong to commit mass genocide. Like that shit,
yeah,
you shouldn't just be killing people off of the strength. You
yeah,
shouldn't. But I
and
do also
yeah,
believe that people have the right to live. Obviously, not evil people. Whatever you deem evil is how you deem that, for your own personal morals and things like that, I guess. But like somebody that is like truly evil, like Trump, or keeping it to the cartoon, like or the anime, the Marlians, because they just fucking hate people and shit like that. Like obviously the world can do without people that just hate. You feel what I'm saying?
mhm,
But
yeah.
like
It's almost like people like that though. We can trust. I feel like, Eric, specify for us who you're talking about exactly. Who's in his fields. Just so we can be clear. Aaron. Okay, you're talking about Aaron.
okay.
Eric, that's such a good point because that's one thing I feel like other anime don't always explore is they will either explore, I feel like, the very emotional side and be like, "Oh, he's so emotional, that's why he's not logical. That's why he's going crazy." And I feel like Aaron is both. Like he's super emotionally driven and there's a
Yes.
lot of emotion in there into what he's doing, but I do think that there's a large logical component to this that he can't escape due to what he can see, due to the past and future that he can see.
Right.
So, I think being able to see that is what triggers his super emotional reaction and why he's taking it so far as to mass genocide.
Mm-hmm.
Um but I think about this, Dorian, because you made a good point about the Marlians. So if the Eldian Empire was out here oppressing everybody and killing everybody, and then the Eldian Empire says, you know what, we're going to now get rid of all of what we've done and leave the world alone and give Marlian the power to be the superpower. Me as the Marlian ruler, I'm not attacking you. You literally told me if I attack you, you're going to send the rumbling my way.
I,
I'm gonna re up like my resources. I'm gonna reinforce my my like military capabilities, yes, I'm going to get to the point where I can protect myself. But one thing we haven't explored, Dorian, though, about the Marlians, another reason why they wanted Paradis so bad. Paradis has an untapped amount of minerals and resources
Resources.
needed.
Yup. And they're just like, we got to get these people out of the way that can do the same shit we can do. Because if we don't, we won't be able to suck the land dry.
And I'm just thinking, like, you could have, because that's the thing with the lies. You should have a protected chain of secrecy or something between both Marley and Paradis so that y'all can maybe trade resources secretly. I don't know. Do it so that you can keep y'all people alive. If you're
For
going to keep
real.
a secret from me and take my memories away from me and my descendants, do it so that we can live in peace, not in terror.
For reals.
So if you terrorize the land for 2,000 years and then one king took it upon himself to save us all, let the descendants be saved so that we never repeat history. So
Honestly.
if y'all gotta keep secrets and share resources without my knowledge so that we can all stay alive and live in pseudo harmony, by golly.
Right, by all means. I mean, it's just trade. It's just bartering.
Because it's like if somebody gotta be the bad guy, it at least doesn't have to be a big skeleton Aaron killing people. It could be 12 people on each side doing their own little political drama so that I can eat and chill and drink wine and and chill with my homies.
And mind my goddamn business. And not worry about getting fucking stepped on by size 1,000 feet. Like, I can't.
Yeah, because you're not going to give us the power to have any like great effect over it. Like nobody in Paradis or Marley, besides the people at the highest command, have the power to make any real quick change.
Right.
It will take generation after generation of fighting for there to be change. So it's like they never. I'm not saying I'd rather be ignorant because I don't want to be, but it's
Right.
almost like you would rather choose ignorance because I'm going to be stripped of the power to make great change anyway if I don't have the ignorance. Like if I know, you're not going to allow the everyday people to ever be as powerful as you. And
Right.
you're going to fight your hardest to make sure we don't. That play just plays out in Attack on Titan in every arc. Every arc. There's like there's only a certain few who gain enough power to make sudden change. So when Aaron was like, "Oh, I got absolute power,"
Yep, gotta do what I gotta
bye.
do.
Yep,
Like,
because I ain't had this 5 years ago.
I really didn't. I was swinging from trees and all that shit like everybody else. Now I can swing from trees and fucking beat a nigga with a tree. It's all the same
That's
shit.
exactly. It's so crazy. Like it's so crazy how Attack on Titan. I just feel like it's such a great series that mirrors life in so many ways. It makes us question our moral compass, makes us question maybe the decisions that we would make when we're under extreme pressures and crazy circumstances. It makes us look at the world around us today. Um, so that's why it will always be one of my faves. Um, and I feel like this is one of the shows that truly can incite depression, yo. Like
I mean,
I
it
felt
can, or
so
at least it'll get
bad.
you thinking. Cause like,
Yeah. I felt so sad, like just reviewing all of this. Okay, so we are 5 minutes from the end of the show, and Dorian, do you remember we had a viewer last week that was talking about the serum being injected into Aaron, the founding Titan serum, like he was injected with it, and
when he was locked up in the crystal cave.
so I'm confused, right? Because when I there's actually on the internet a debate of how Aaron actually got the founding Titan. They're
Right.
saying some people say that the manga is saying that when Grisha had Aaron eat him, he had to turn Aaron into a pure Titan first,
Right.
as they all get turned into pure Titans first,
Right.
and then they eat that Titan right then, the fountain shift, the Titan shifter.
Right.
And so some people are saying that the founding Titan was already in Grisha, just could not be activated because he doesn't have royal blood. So when
Right.
Aaron ate him, he ate both the attack Titan and the founding Titan.
Yeah.
Others are saying that there was something happening when Aaron was in the cave. And I'm just like, I just don't recall him. I think he was in the cave, he was recovering his memories. He wasn't being injected with more serum.
Right. Because he touched Historia, right? And then,
Yeah.
well, no, Historia touched him because he was chained
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Historia touched him, and then he got a rush of, visions and memories or whatever.
Yes,
And
everything actually. The future
right,
and the past.
right. And when he was coming to after that, that's when, Kenny and his squad, they're all in there, they're fighting by this point. The last Titan vial done fell on the ground.
Yeah.
The only thing that Aaron has left is a little vial of serum to drink to enhance his hardening abilities, because like any Titan serum that was available was getting licked up by the guy off the floor.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly, yo. That's what that whole scene was about. So I feel like canon and from research, and I just think it's right there. Like Aaron did not get injected with the founding Titan serum. He was injected, the only serum he was injected with from his father, at least, was pure Titan serum so
Right,
that he can eat his father. And his father already had both the attack and founding Titan inside of him.
right,
And then the Crystal Cave situation was not him being injected with the founding Titan, it was ingesting more serum and getting back his memories, because when you turn into a Titan shifter, you not get your memories right away. Um, it takes time, or it takes, I think in Marley they must do something to them
right.
for them to get their memory. But whereas though Aaron, you know, that's something I'll do more research too, because how did Armin, get his memories back so quickly? Um, whatever. But
Maybe
we'll
for each
see.
body it's a cooldown, because each when you get turned into a Titan, it's kind of like your clock starts ticking. You feel what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because then you only
Hmm.
got like that 13-year allotment. So who
Which is the
knows?
curse of Ymir.
Maybe Armin bounced back a little faster because he's younger than
And he
Bertold.
was in the thick of it. He was in the thick of it when he
Right.
got turned too.
Like burnt to a crisp, and the next thing you know, you're getting injected with a thing. Now to go back on Aaron for like 5 seconds, if Aaron, like, because if there was one vial of Titan serum left to turn Historia into a Titan so she could eat Aaron, it leads you to wonder, where did they get pure Titan serum from other than the girl that was the founder?
Yeah.
So the only thing that I can think of is that if Aaron indeed gained more knowledge through a serum, obviously the only thing he drank in that cave was the one small vial. But if it was made from the
Yeah.
girl that was the founder, then that's the only way that I could rationalize Aaron like gaining any additional information in his
Yeah.
mind.
The thing with the pure Titan, well, we have to remember that the Marleyans did a bunch of experiments which helped create the pure Titan serum, which also helped create the Ackermans.
Right,
Because the Ackermans were a part of that experiment.
right.
And they became pretty much superhuman, and they were pretty much um, hunted down after that. So they're also the Ackermans are also like a product of messing with Titan abilities. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the Marlians experimented in multiple ways to, I think, create that pure Titan serum. Because you're right, the vial that he drank was only for hardening abilities. Like it was
Right.
not for anything else. It was just for him to have more Titan abilities. So they definitely figured out ways to segment the type of Titan powers into vials that
Right.
doesn't turn you into a Titan shifter, but just into a gives you Titan abilities.
Right. Or enhances Titan abilities that you already
Yeah.
begun to develop or whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, that's where the pure Titan serum comes from, the experimentations from the Marlians. I think it was the Marlians. Unless it could have been the Eldians. It could have been the Eldians. I think the Eldians, when they first started doing the whole Titan pass down thing, they started to
Mhm.
experiment. And I think the El the Ackermans might have came from the Eldian experiment and not the Marlian experiment.
Right. Because back
And
in
then
the lore, they were changing them into Titans and then passing it down that way. So the technology,
and
okay,
yeah.
so the technology has been around for a while.
Yes, and then the Ackermans were being killed after the whole Eldian and going into Paradis and Marley. Like that's when they started to be hunted down, when the
Right.
Marlians finally came into power. Um, so yes, that answers that question. Thank you. I don't know who it was. Who it was? I think was it Chris? One of our viewers from last week was the one who told us like,
Right.
yeah. So we did that research, and we're clear now. And it's so yes, he was injected. It just he wasn't injected with that particular serum. He just was injected with pure Titan serum. Ate his father. Got two Titans out of eating his father.
Right.
Drank a vial that gave him hardening abilities.
Right.
Yeah. So we're at the end of it. Um, for
And
today, but we'll come back next week and review episode it's episode 26 of the season. I don't remember what episode it is like overall, but it's
oh
episode like
yeah, it's
20.
like episode 80 something if you're counting
Yeah.
it overall.
Yeah, but it's episode 26 called Trader coming out next week on the 13th. And we'll talk about that next week, but we'll also talk about some other stuff. This is just a special episode talking about only Attack on Titan, but we'll get into some other things next week. I really do hope that y'all enjoyed this episode talking about Attack on Titan. I thought we got into it real deep, Dorian. Like,
We did, but it's
yeah,
usually deep every time. It's hard not to get deep because there's so many concepts in this series that you can have real conversation about.
yes. Thank you, Eric.
Yay,
Yes.
thank you.
Yeah, if you guys have a suggestion of what you might want us to talk about next week, I mean, we have ideas in mind already, but if there's something you want us to talk about, let us know. You can comment here, and you can hit us up on wherever you're watching this video. You can hit up that particular platform. So it doesn't matter what platform you're watching it on, we will find your message or comment.
Yes.
Um, but yes, so I am Sadiqa Love. And I actually have a little video. So if you guys want to follow us or follow Anime Toku, um, please stay and watch the little video I have after. Um, oh, before I say anything, y'all, if you want to support our show,
Yes.
if you want to support our show,
Almost
y'all,
forgot, huh?
listen, you guys can go here because hope I'm typing it right because your girls got it together. We got a Kofi, y'all. If you guys want to support the
Yay.
show and donate to us. So we had someone gifted us a song for an intro for our show. So my partner Mike, he made a song and it's a really cute song. And what we want to do is to make an intro video. So we want to go do the whole nines and have fun. But also if you just want to support the show, we do have some expenses like our streaming platform we pay for, and some of the things that we buy to make sure that the show looks good. If you guys just want to help us out with that and support us, please go over to our Ko-fi. Even if not to donate dollars, you can follow us, and you can get updates in one space on the Ko-fi.
Yes.
So that way you don't have to look for us all around the internet. We're at Ko-fi.com, Anime Toku Show. You can also you can donate a matcha latte to us, Or you can join our monthly membership where you'll get exclusive content, you'll get monthly gifts and stuff like that. So just, if you want to support us, we would love that. Yes, but that's our home spot right now, y'all. So yes.
Yes.
Yeah. But
Buy us a
again,
warm beverage.
yes, a warm beverage so we can drink our matcha latte on the show.
Right.
Yes. All right, but anyway, y'all, like I said, let me put our names back up there because I spent some time making sure that we had these cute little overlay names. I'm
No, look at our
Sadiqa
names.
Love.
Doing all
and
the
and I'm here. What you say? With who? With
with
who?
Dorian, Dorishan,
Yes.
whichever one.
So thanks for watching, y'all, and we hope to see you next week. Make sure y'all show up, same time, same day. And yeah, bye.
Bye.